Hello, fellow music people. Welcome to my follow-up video to the Pluck Guides sound design tutorial. This is just kind of just some tips and tricks on how you can make your Plucks sound cooler and better and less boring, hopefully. So I've gathered up some sounds here, some patterns to play around with, and I just kind of have everything pre-made, just figured it would maybe help speed things up a bit, hopefully. So I'll just go in order, starting with the first sound, first patch here. This is just a very quick citrus sound I made, and it's just a very simple A minor chord pattern. So yeah, pretty basic. Didn't really put too much thought into it. So you want to go to your mixer tab here, go to your effects, and I just have an EQ here just to kind of get rid of the low end. And what you can do to just add more rhythm to it is, instead of adding delays, maybe you could use gross beat here. So this is very good for adding just a little bit extra rhythm, maybe not too much, but like just a little bit more. So like without it, it's just, it's just kind of a simple pattern, but you can get some cool, interesting, complex patterns with gross beat. Even just like the presets here sound very good. And then you can play around with this little volume knob here, just so you can get a little bit of the dry in it, rather than just be a bunch of stutters. I would recommend maybe turning up the attack and release just a little bit. Otherwise, you'll just get a bunch of weird pops. Like, I think you can hear it now, and it sounds pretty bad, so I would just, have a little bit of attack, release, tension. You can kind of play around with it. So let me find, let's see, I think, yeah, you want to go to the presets. I would recommend patterns, and I believe stutter has some, no, not stutter, I think it's repeater. Repeater has some very good patterns to mess around with. So which one will I use? I think I like the saw ones, so you can really hear the difference in me moving the tension knob up and down. And another plugin you can use to maybe add a little bit more punch to your plucks. I probably should have mentioned this in my previous video, but oh well. It is this plugin here, Transient Processor. This is a very, very good plugin, great for basically any instrument, especially for drums. But I find this is also good for plucks, so I would just mess around with this big knob over here. I wouldn't worry about other knobs. You can also mess around with the release knob if you want. But let me just kind of play it back, just so you can hear the difference. Yeah, I think you can hear the difference there. It makes a very big difference, and yeah, we're just gonna turn this off for now. You don't really have to know how to use gross beat exactly to really get the most of it. Honestly, like, these presets sound good enough. You can just kind of have this pattern here and just work with it. You can maybe move stuff around here, but I'm not quite an expert at using gross beat, but you can definitely, take some time, maybe get rid of some points, or maybe move these tension knobs up and down. Just whatever you want. Like, again, you got a bunch of cool ones you can mess around with. So yeah, I think we're just gonna exit out of gross beat. We're gonna move to Maximus. This might be like a weird plugin to use for this tutorial, because this is like a mastering plugin or like a compression plugin, but I've learned that you can do some very cool stuff with this. So let me just, should I make it, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. All you really need to know is how to use this little tab here on the left, these little points here. So So by default, there shouldn't be a point here, but I just added it because it's really all you need to do is just add a point in the middle of this little slope here, and then just play around with this tension knob. Oh yeah, you gotta make sure you're on master as well, not in any of these. So make sure you're on the master tab. Make sure you just have the default one. Add one point in the middle. If maybe you're a little off, you can use the Alt key to kind of lock it in place easier. Just to kind of move it in little segments instead of just like freely moving it. So just make sure it's right in the center, and then let me just play it back and move this knob around, or this tension point. Yeah, I think you'll hear the difference right away. So let me, there we go. Okay, so as you may have noticed, it sounds a lot more. You can hear more of the reverb in the Plucks. So moving it up here, you can hear more of the reverb, or moving it down, it'll basically. It's kind of like with a transient processor, how we move the release down. You know, you can hear less of the decay. But for this case, you can really just kind of fine tune it more. What I've noticed is that if I turn this all the way down, it sounds like a percussion instrument. I just think it's a really cool sound. You know, it's a really cool trick that I literally just discovered randomly. And if that wasn't enough, you can also go here. Instead of having a single curve, you can maybe do a stair thing. Let me just play it back. Let's try this one. Oh, okay, that's enough. Yeah, you can get some very weird sounds just by changing that, but I think I'll stick with the single curve. I do think the stair ones sound pretty good. I think wave also sounds good. Let me just. Oh god, what did I do? Let me play it back now. Yeah, my point being is you can get some very glitchy sounds. Maybe if you want to make it like, I don't know, glitch hop or something, or dubstep. I don't know. You can get some goofy sounds using Maximus, and then of course you can have the transient processor just to make it sound a little bit better. But there we go. That is it for the first couple of tricks in the first patch here. Let's move on to the second one, which is just a very simple. It's just a very simple. I don't know, just this basic pattern, but this one might be a little advanced. But what you'll need is, well, of course you can have a low cut filter if you want, but you're gonna want to use Edison for this. I think you need a Producer's Edition to have Edison, and for Maximus, I think you also need a Producer's Edition Grosbeat. I'm not quite so sure. I think you might need an All Plugins Edition, but I'm not sure. Same with Transient Processor. But yeah, oh well. Anyways, you don't really need to know how to use Edison for this effect. All you really need to know is how to record a sound or your pattern, and then you need to take that sound and use the blur feature, which is right here. Should be a teardrop icon. If you don't see it, you may have to resize it. So like I have it like this just so I can get all the icons here. But you just need to record your sound. I already have it recorded because I don't want it to conflict with my microphone. So yeah, I have it recorded. Just hit the blur button, and then you can just change the amount if you want. It's really up to you how you want to do it, and then you press accept, and then it should look something like this. And then from here you can just kind of take it and do whatever you want with it. You can do some fade ins, fade outs. What else? There's also like a built-in reverb effect here, but I don't really like it. I just use the Fruity Reverb 2 after I process it. So I already got the sound right here. So I actually have to switch to song mode for it to play. So it's just like a cool atmospheric sound, or like a swelling sound that you can make. I just find it very interesting how you can take just like a very quick pluck sound and just turn it into like a pad sound, or just like a long atmospheric sound. I would recommend making it longer. So by making it longer, you just record for a longer period of time, maybe up to 8 measures or 9 or 16. I don't know. Just make it as long as you can. That way you have more to work with. But in this case, I just made it 2 measures long, or 2 bars long, whatever you want to call it. And you can really do some cool stuff with just that sound. Like in this case, I just added some reverb, and I added an EQ. You can kind of do more with it. Like you could maybe sidechain it, which is what I like to do sometimes. So I like to use Love Filter to sidechain, but I'm not really gonna do that now. Or just take it to gross beat and just make some very weird patterns with it. I don't know. But that's pretty much it. I just wanted to show you how to make that atmospheric sound. Now for the very last sound, probably one of my favorite effects to do in FL Studio is, I call it the crystallizing effect. You'll know when you hear it. So I just have like a flex patch here. At the end of my sound design video, I showed you that there are more sounds you can get in Flex, so I'm using one of those sounds from Flex. So let's see, let me switch back to pattern mode. So I think you can hear it now, but let me just turn this off real quick just so I can teach you the steps. So again, I got a low cut filter, got rid of the low end. And then you want to use Fruity Send. So you just want to go here and somewhere down here. Yeah, right here. That is Fruity Send. You just want to have that in whatever mixer track that sound is in, which is in 3. You want to go to it. You want to actually make sure you go down there and then sidechain it to any mixer plugin or any mixer channel. But I just have it at 4 because it's the one that's very next to it. So just route up there, and then from here you go. You can select whatever. I don't know, whatever you want really. It should insert 4 should show up, or whatever the mixer track is in. It can be any, but okay. So this is the delay effect, or basically all the crystallizing effects that you'll need. So you'll need delay 2 and reverb 2. So I don't think this will work with Fruity Delay 1. I've tried it. I just can't get it to work in Fruity Delay 1. It might work in Fruity Delay 3, but I don't really know how to use it. So I'm just using the second one just because it's easier to use than Fruity Delay 3 or other delay plugins out there. But turn the dry all the way off. That way you don't get like another copy of the dry sound. So turn the dry all the way off, and then have your offset and your time knob all the way down, or not all the way, but like almost all the way down. So like, let me just play it back. That way you can hear it. Hold on, let me turn this off. There we go. This is just a delay sound. So actually the offset is kind of optional, but I just like to have it all the way here. I think I just had it all the way down at first, and then for the time you can... I don't know, it sounds better if you have it all the way down, so not all the way, but just almost all the way down, so like... Like that sounds good to me. And then make sure you have ping pong mode enabled and have the panning all the way to the left or to the right, whichever one you're more comfortable with. I don't know, I just like it having it all the way to the left or to the right just because it gives like a cool stereo effect. That's just my opinion, but there we go. That's pretty much step 1, and then step 2 would be to open up a Fruity Reverb 2, and then I like to have the diffusion all the way down. In my opinion, it sounds a little bit better. I don't know, I just kind of like the cool little glitchy effect that you get. And then for size, I would just have it at like a medium size. Like, I think that sounds good to me. And then the rest is optional, really. Maybe turn up the wet a little bit more if you want. Yeah, that's just your stereo separation. You can also do it here if you want. So, oh yeah, and one last thing you could do is actually open up a new, open up Parametric EQ 2, and see, the problem with Fruity Delay 2 is that you can't really EQ it. I mean, you have this little cutoff knob here, but that's just like a low pass filter, and I don't really want that. I kind of just, you know, maybe I want a band pass filter or a high pass filter, so we're just gonna, let's do band pass filter. So there we go. See, it sounds a little bit better that way. It's just kind of more in the background. I think that sounds good. I would also recommend maybe turning the volume down because it might destroy your ears, but maybe like halfway. I think that's fine. So there you go. That is basically it for this tutorial or tips and tricks video. So yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. Yeah, hopefully I can make more of these sometime soon. I really would like to make more. I just really need to think about, I don't know what happened there. I think I accidentally moved my mouse down, but I really would like to make more of these hopefully sometime soon, but I just gotta really think about what I want to make. So yeah, I will see you all next time. Peace.